calling all educators with a passion for teaching and a health for faith. Get ready for a transformative journey with the Educators with Oil podcast, where host Ronnette Branham is dedicated to helping teachers become better through biblical strategies.
Welcome back to Educators with Oil podcast. I am your hostess, Ronnette Branham, here again to offer biblical strategies for effective teaching, where purpose meets the classroom and the oil flows. So today I am in my classroom. We have back to school night. So there's a few things I did not post and let people know I was here. That is something I got caught up with some things. So even with that, we're going to be talking about back to school night. Even though today is our back to school night, some people have already gone back to school. Some people already have gone back to school. And where is this at? Let me see. I can't click on this. I'm trying to click here and see how. Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to get the link for today to share it with someone. So this night is an opportunity, for us to meet our families, that, of our students, to get to know our parents, to let our parents get to know us, to let them know a few things about what's happening in our school district. Trying to see what's happening here. 1 second. Just give me 1 second, people. View my channel. Click on live. Click this. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. But anyway, I just welcome everybody. We want to build partnerships, set expectations for the school year. And just sometimes the beginning of the school year feels overwhelming. Like with me right now, I'm doing several things at the same time. Even though I'm here with you, I'm someplace else at the same time where I need to, have some things to do. So we just had, where is this? I don't even know what's happening. Okay. Sorry about that. So I just wanted to share about what to expect and what we should expect from back to school night. How much should we share? Should we share with our parents? What questions are we or aren't we ready for? And how do we leave an impression at the same time sounding authentic? We're trying to present this certain persona, and all you just need to do is just let your parents know that you are there, that we are actually here for them. And let's just get into it. So we're just going to have strategies that you have for back to school night, things that you would do. You want to have a successful, meaningful back to school night. And so give me 1 more second. So why does back to school night matter? Back to school night matters for some, it actually does matter. So it matters because why? You want to build trust with your parents, because people are like, do I trust them with my child? Sometimes they don't. Communicating classroom expectations. We want them to know what it is that they can expect in our class. Communicate routines and let them know about the routines that we have in our classroom, showing value, that we value each student, and that we want to build. This is my most important, that we want to build that strong home school relationship. Sometimes the parents think, because sometimes parents have bad taste in their mouth from teachers that they had before. Sometimes we are not feeling the school. We're not feeling the school. We're not feeling the teachers. We're just like, I'm over it. Just do what you have to do with my child. That's what it is. And we just want to make sure we build a strong foundation, when it comes to that relationship between our students, our school, and our students. Sometimes what do parents want to know when they come to back to school night? Parents want to know, can I trust you with my child? This is my child, my most prized possession sometimes. And I'm sending them to school with you. Can I trust you to treat them, with respect? Educate my child without getting you may not like their personality. We may have butt heads in personalities, things like that. Can I actually trust you with my child? And then they might want to know, are we approachable? Um, you know, not 6. Somebody said they'll see me at 6. Okay. Um, are we approachable? Are we supportive of their child? Their child may have special needs or they feel like their child has special needs. Well, we all think our child is special. We all think that. I'm sorry. And then will I see their child as an individual? Am I gonna look at their child like uh they're one particular person? Don't paint a broad brush, about my child, about the classroom, the students in the classroom. Make sure you know that my child is different. My child is not what you think just because you say all students are this way or all students are that way. Is that how you're going to treat my child? Treat my child as an individual. So parents want to know all that kind of stuff. They absolutely do. Give me 1 second. Okay, I apologize. So we can use this night. We're going to use this night to explain our communication channels. For instance, I use Class Dojo. My school promotes Class Dojo. We have like Class Dojo experts in our school. And so make sure you connect with those parents on Class Dojo, send them an invite. Sometimes your school has the invite, and then they could just search for their teacher on Class Dojo, because that's how it works in my school. Not some people have something called Remind. I remember I was at another school, they had something called Remind, and then the parents were going on Remind, and that's how they were communicating with the teachers. They got all on Remind, since all messages through there, and everybody gets them. Just like Class Dojo, we have a person who regulates school information, and they let it flow. It flows through Class Dojo. They put up if there's a school early dismissed. So if there's something happening at the school or the school district that's district wide, they'll post it on Class Dojo for the parents. So let them know your channel and your policy. So there's something on now. Ours has a nighttime time. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a quiet time. Let them know after this hour, during these times, there's not going to be communication. I'm not going to see this message until tomorrow. So after a certain hour, there's nothing that you need from me at 9:00 at night. You might know your child's not going to be in school. You can send a message in the morning or whatever. So just set clear boundaries. Like, we're not calling my cell phone. We're not doing that. Sometimes parents think, I have her number. She called me from her phone once, so I have her number, and so let me call her. And we have to set clear boundaries. Do not use my personal number. Even if I called you from it, don't call me back on it. Unless I say, call me back on this number, it's important, like something like that. But that's not, set clear boundaries, professional boundaries. And make sure when you're talking to the parents, you're excited. You're absolutely excited about the school year. You're excited to have their child in your classroom. I'm excited about the things that we're going to learn and how we're going to learn it, and the processes and the strategies that we're going to use, and how it's going to work for our students. That's something we need to let it shine through. So the parents will be excited that their child is in your classroom. Because I know I said it before, but we were talking about something else where I had a person, she didn't like me the first day of school because I didn't stop what I was doing. Even though I had a handful of things, I didn't stop what I was doing and take care of her child. When in my head, her child is supposed to be over there right now, and I would get them. But it just was a bad taste that she had. But then once she got to know me, it was different. But just let them know that you're excited to have their child. So make this in this with this mindset, let it shift from stress and obligation. We have to be here. Yes, we do, but let it be meaningful. When the parents come in the classroom, somebody asking me, are you treating your parents? Uh, are you giving them, what do you call it, coffee and things like that? No, what? Where they do that at? But her husband is a teacher, and that's what he did for back to school night. So I say, oh, I never thought of that. Who's doing that here? I don't think anybody. But that's something that we can talk about one day and get to know. Maybe do something like that. Not today, because this is today. In an hour, I will have back to school night. So no, that's not happening today. So let's just make a meaningful community connection. This is a meaningful connection opportunity to connect with your parents, right? So we want to make sure we're prepared. I don't know, mine is tonight. So saying that, I'm telling you what is a good strategy tonight. That's already. But we're going to talk about, even if you miss back to school night, what you can do. So you're going to prepare with intention. Organize your classroom ahead of time. I'm still working on mine. Have student work for that of theirs. Let the parents see where their child sits and have some material for them. Create a simple agenda, an introduction, classroom overview. Talk about routines and expectations. Have a clear agenda. So you won't like, oh, what should I say? I should have talked about this. I forgot about that. No, just have a clear agenda, because the parents are coming in, and then have at the end a question and answer where the parents can actually ask you questions, and you're going to have the answers because you've been doing this. You're a pro, right? You're a pro at this. And so also have a sign-in sheet so that you can not only know who came in, but also you can use that if you do Danielson's, you can use that as communicating with the parents, and then you'll have a way to connect with the parents. You'll have a phone number, email address, or whatever you want to put there. You'll have that for your parents, and then communicate clearly. Keep your explanations concise and focused. Don't go off on a tangent about something that you thought about. You see how I can do that? Don't do that, right? Don't go off on a tangent. I'm trying to actually see where. Okay, don't go off on a tangent. Share key information about the routines, homework, classroom expectations. Here, like I have a homework sheet for the whole week, 5 days, right? So I type out everything that's for the homework. Today it changed because we didn't get to math, because we had early dismissal. We didn't get to math, so it's going to change a little bit. And I'll let the students know, the parents know, the math has changed. That's not the math. You'll see them, right? Today they didn't have math homework because we didn't get to it. So let them know what it is. How about you provide handouts, email resources, for reference later. Make sure they have all the information at their fingertips. Like we have something in our math where it is parent involvement. And I didn't realize until today that with the parent involvement letter that comes, that it has links and videos about our math, and it could teach the parents. Because I was talking to a parent yesterday, and she was concerned about her daughter making 10, because we didn't learn that way. She's younger than me, but she didn't learn math that way. So with that, she's like, I don't know about that math. And I told her basically to have strategies that she already knew and help her daughter with that. But don't get stuck on a strategy as long as she could get the answer. But at the same time, we have links on our math. We have Envisions math. We have links where I just sent out a link for this topic 1 for the parents to click, and then they can get the directions, the videos for everything that we're doing in topic 1. Then for the next topic, same thing. So provide that information during back to school night. Also, when the parents come in, how are you going to greet the parents? Greet them each personally. They all come in at the same time. You're just like, hello, welcome. No, greet them. How you doing? I'm Miss Branham, and you are, or whoever. Ask them who is their child, if their child is there or not. Maybe they bring their child, and you introduce yourselves, and point out student work again. if you have any student work around the classroom of their child, we've been in school. I have only personally been in school. This is our 8th day. So we do have something that we did on the first day, but then there were some students who were not here. So that's something you point out. There were classroom displays, and if you don't have things up right now, say this is where we will put this. We'll have math strategies here. We'll have whatever it is that you have normally up in your classroom. So invite the parents. This is another thing. Invite the parents to share a key piece of information about their child that every other parent could hear. My child loves this and she likes this math. She loves adding and subtracting and she's excited about that. Or my child is an only child. Something maybe the class might want to know. They don't have any siblings, or they have siblings who are in the next grade above and next grade below, something like that. Like maybe they have a goal that they're looking for. Like today, I was testing students in reading, and just say the child was on level 3, and I said, okay, we're going to try to make it up to level 10. You think we could do that? So they might have goals like that. They may have goals where they're adding and subtracting to 10. Maybe they want to add and subtract to 20 or to 100. Within 100, they may want to do that. That may be their goal, and their parent might know that. And then also provide takeaways, like class newsletter, summary about the routines and expectations that you have in your classroom. You may or may not do that. You may or may not, but that's just an idea. And also have maybe a quick reference sheet about the class with tips supporting learning at home. Like I said, I had that. I finally found that today. Even though it was there all the time, I know it's paper. I didn't want to send it home paper, and the parents are not. But this has actual links where they could click the videos. That is awesome. So maybe you have a reference sheet where they can go to the links and click the links. I just put it in Class Dojo. And have a short recap for the parents with an email. Send them, this is what we talked about really quick today. If you have any questions about this or this, have any questions about our schedule, have any questions about our routines, anything like that, shoot me an email back. Go to Class Dojo with it, something like that. So just let them know this is what we talked about. This is our expectations for the school year. These are what we are planning. And also have interactive moments while the parents are there. Give them a chance to say something, ask a question, and you answer the question. Maybe use an icebreaker, that the parent will feel included in the session. Because sometimes parents come and they're just sitting in the classroom waiting for you to finish saying what you got to say. And then they feel like she just was talking, she just was saying things. But no, let them feel a part of the classroom. Let them feel that warmth that you say, that we say we have, that welcoming spirit. And then how about managing your nerves? Because sometimes we get to parent-teacher conferences and we are feeling overwhelmed. I know this is our 8th day of school. It feels like we've been here for 30 already, and we only been here for 8 days. And you may be anxious, you may be nervous, you may have had different situations today. My day was chock full of nuts. Yeah, it was a lot today. And so even with preparation, sometimes things feel challenging. So you may have challenging parents sending you sending you messages, so listen, or coming in with challenges. They have these gripes against you or the school or something right now. So with that, listen actively, stay calm. I just put my hands in my pocket just to remind me to stay calm. Think about that thing, right? Respond professionally. Don't take things personally, even though it may seem like a personal attack. Take things in the spirit. You can. You don't have to take it personally. Maybe the parent might be frustrated about something. So just if they're frustrated about something, just act like, just be professional. That's all. Um, sometimes that energy is more concerned about their child and not so much about you. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's that. So I don't even know how come I can't open this. Yeah, and take deep breaths. Like if you feel a little anxious, take deep breaths. Remind yourself that your goal is connection, not perfection. So you can neaten up your classroom as far along as best you can, but you don't have to feel like I have to be stressed. This has to be perfect. Oh my God, I left some stuff on my desk. Even though as soon as I hang up here, I'm going to straighten up my classroom. But I know I'm not looking for it to be perfect. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm absolutely not. I'm not. So just take some deep breaths. Know that you're here to connect with your parents. Stay focused. Remember to plan your talking points. I want to talk about my routine. I want to talk about my expectations. I want to talk about class homework. I want to talk about ways that we can connect during the day, during this week, and how often. You can send me a message every day, but after a certain hour, it's not going to come through. So just know that if you send me something at night, don't expect me. So you can talk about expectations. You absolutely can. Let me see what else. Again, and if there's a question that requires follow up the next day, or follow up when you get the answer. You don't have to have you don't have to have the answer right then and there. That's something you do not have to have. You can have it. You can have let them know I have to get back to you on that. I don't have the answer right now. Um, you know, you may have to schedule another conversation with the parent, because back to school night, parents think it's about their child. I'm here to talk to you about my child, and this is what I need to know. And you let the parents know this is not the time for personal conference about your child, because we have all these parents in here. But there is a time that we can set aside. We'll make an appointment with each other and talk. Um, and then what if your back to school night has already passed? What do you do then? So maybe you're listening and thinking, we already had our back to school night. Because if you're in the South, maybe you already started school a month ago. So definitely you had your back to school night. So what do you do now? But it is never too late to connect with parents. It's never too late. I don't care if you haven't talked to your child, your student's parent in a whole month, or 2 months, or whatever. It's never too late to talk to a parent, to connect with a parent. So you can summarize what you talked about back to school night in an email, or on that means of communication that you have with the parents. Like ours is Class Dojo. Go to Class Dojo and summarize the points, right? Have many meet and greets. Schedule short meet and greets with your parents. Maybe you come early when they're dropping off the kids, and you say, okay, I'm going to be here at 8:15, and then we have 15 minutes when you're dropping off your child. I'll be out there to greet the parents, and you can talk to me about whatever on Thursday morning, or something like that. Have one-on-one calls. Schedule 5 minutes at a time to talk to parents, on the phone. You could do that also. Let them know that you care, and that they can trust you. So that's something else. Or you can have consistent updates every week. Friday, every week. Monday, you say, Monday, this is what we're going to do this week. Friday, this is what we did this week. Every have consistent times. Every Wednesday, hump day, this is what we're working on, and then we're going to finish the week off with this. Things like that. Help the parents to feel like they are involved in their child's education. So your connection can be ongoing, no matter what. Even if the official back to school night is over, ongoing connection. That's just it. You never have to say, I don't have time because they didn't come to back to school night. Nope. It's ongoing the whole school year. So I know, I just want to share a personal story that I had from one of my back to school nights. This was a few years ago. This was the first year I had Well, I always had Spanish speaking students, but it was something different where it was called a shelter classroom, where all of my they needed a bilingual teacher, but they had me. So, and I taught in English. So I had a back to school night, and all the parents spoke Spanish. I think only one of them spoke English. And so I was trying to Google translate and all that kind of stuff. I didn't know what to say to them because I couldn't understand them fast enough. And so I did. Luckily, I had a parent who spoke English, and she was there to translate. That wasn't what she was there for, but she volunteered to translate. So it started off a little rocky, and then it went smooth. She was able to translate and keep it moving. She didn't ad lib or things like that. So that was good. So instead of panicking on your back to school night, listen patiently, like I did, and be adaptable to however my translator was that parent. She didn't have to do that. So she shifted the whole atmosphere that we had when it was tight because we didn't understand each other. I understand a little Spanish. I used to understand a lot more. I say it all the time. I was kind of fluent, and then I didn't understand it. I know some words here and there, so I can give some directives and things like that. So that is something that you just have to be flexible and understand that you have to be flexible, especially and adaptable during back to school night. So back to school night, again, is not about perfection. It's about your presence, letting the parents see you in a good light, as opposed to you calling them with problems about their child, right? So even when things start rough, like I said, stay calm. You don't know what the parents are coming in here with, right? So just stay calm, knowing that I'm going to be professional tonight, and I'm going to have that aura about me that you're welcome in this classroom, and so is your child. We want to have meaningful connections with our parents. So remember, as you prepare or follow up with your parents, whether you already have back to school night or you're preparing for it, remember that back to school night is just a start. It's just a start of building strong family connections. Building those relationships, parent-teacher connections. So that's what it is. Trust that you establish an early impact in the school year. Again, parents will rather meet you in a good light than with complaints about their child. So come and just greet them and say, these are our expectations. This is what we have. And what is it that you expect from me? And let's see if we can come to some common ground, because we're going to be here for 10 months. No matter what, we're going to be here for 10 months. So be intentional about your conversation with the parents tonight. Be approachable and consistent through the whole school year, not just tonight. Be consistent with your mode of communication, or how often. Maybe you don't have to talk to them every week, but every other week. Parent sends you a message, respond to them. Sometimes I forget. I say I'm so perfect. Sometimes I forget to check my Class Dojo to open it up because it's on like the internet. I don't have the app on my computer. I tried. I don't have it, and so maybe sometimes you forget. But as soon as you see their message, respond and let them know, my apologies. I didn't get the chance to see this message earlier. I know you let me know that your child wasn't in school, wasn't coming to school or something. So just be consistent and know that this is an official night, even after the official night, right? Just know that you're building bridges between home and school. That is what we're trying to do, is build bridges, right? So we want to strengthen our relationships, support our students, and create a positive classroom culture. That is what we're doing right now, and that's what back to school night is about. Just preparing the parents for the school year, letting them know what's happening, and then thank them for coming, because a lot of times parents don't feel like it's important to come to back to school night. Sometimes they don't feel like it's important to even talk to the teacher. So if they come in and then they're here and present, be present with them, thank them for coming, and knowing that you appreciate that they actually took the time out. And so, again, I just wanted to thank you for coming, because you didn't have to show up tonight, and I appreciate that. I just want to say two more things, and don't forget to get your journals. I have them. I know people say that's a shameless plug. It is shameless. I have any shame, because these are for us. These are for us. Get your journal. They're coming 2 days. They'll come in absolutely 2 days. I have all three. And then by the time you get to this, the first one is called The First Pour, which is excellent. These are proofs, so you don't have this is I'm just using the proof because I don't really have to use it. This is The First Pour, and it says The First Pour in blue across the front. This is a proof. Then, and the second one is The Study Flame. So it's like keeping that keeping consistent with journaling and learning what it is that you need to learn throughout the year, personally, spiritually, emotionally. And then the final one, this is heavy. This is the best one. I say the best because this sums up the last 4 months of the school year. It is called The Overflow. This is, by the time you get to here, you are on it. You understand your relationship with God. You understand your calling more, and you learn more about yourself, because by the time you get here, even right the first week of school, you learn a lot about yourself, because you're analyzing and you're reflecting on your day. How were you in the day? My personal reflections, my classroom reflections. What happened in my classroom? Were there any obstacles I faced? What am I grateful for? Do I have a wellness check? I have a wellness check. How am I feeling about today? And so by the time you get to this one, oh my God, back in June or May, whenever you get out of school, as you can see, this is totally different. This is totally different. Here is one, the weekly wrap up, heavenly highlight. What moment this week reminded me that God sees me? Another one, peace in the pressure. What helped me remain calm and confident under stress? Write that. Then you're going to see who you are just based off that. So remember, that's on Amazon. Don't forget to get yours on Amazon. I'm so excited about those, as you can tell. Hopefully I'm able to have them for sale in person in different places. I'm going to go to events where teachers are and then set up a table. So again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you tonight. If you have, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Educators with Oil podcast. And after this, later on today, you will be able to get this episode and all the other episodes on Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify. So you get the actual audio podcast, or you go to YouTube and you get to watch the episode. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Educators with Oil and Ronnette Branham and Educators with Oil. I appreciate you. Have a blessed rest of your day. Let me see.
Subscribe to Educators with Oil podcast on your preferred platform and join Ronnette on this mission to empower teachers through the wisdom of the Bible. Because when biblical strategies meet the classroom, extraordinary teaching happens.
Educators, let's shine a light on our classrooms. See you on Educators with Oil podcast, where teaching and faith unite.